today we're going to dive into the impact of AI on the job market. Hi, I'm Gina.
And I'm Jen.
And this is Job Search Stories. We got a question from Joe. Joe is asking us, could you talk about AI and job hiring and how we're supposed to find jobs in the future?
Absolutely. I'm really excited about AI and the impact it's having. I mean, and there are some pros and cons, which we'll definitely get into, but I'm of the mind that I really want to just use AI to make our work easier.
Yes, there's definitely those benefits. I feel like some people are weary of it, obviously from like a job seeker's perspective and an employer perspective. But then there's people like you and I who are like, it can make everybody's lives a little easier, but if you use it correctly.
Exactly.
What are some current trends that you're seeing in the job market right now when it pertains to AI?
When we talk about the impact of AI, it's not just impacting jobs in tech. And I think that's something that can be a little bit of a misconception, but it's really interesting. One of the key points in Indeed's 2024 U.S. Jobs and Hiring Trends Report is that more jobs that aren't even really connected to AI are going to be impacted by them, or they're going to be using more generative AI. So AI is everywhere, essentially.
Yeah, I also feel like it's been around for a while. We do talk about the ATS, which I know we'll get into, but that's AI.
Absolutely. And I think that's something that we forget about too, is the ways in which AI is already in the recruitment and hiring process. AI is pretty trendy.
Yeah, I like trendy things.
You're a trendy gal.
Like your cute little earrings, so trendy.
I literally just like made the connection of like, oh, UFOs, like that's high technology. And we're talking about AI.
No, I was like
I'm a slow girl.
The aliens, AI, I think it's very on brand for this episode.
On topic.
Yes.
We should get back on topic.
I was going to bring us there. So this is impacting a lot of job seekers is what I'm hearing from you. And it's not just tech. And it sounds like job seekers are going to need some tips from you on how they can maybe future-proof their careers and kind of avoid some of these scary feelings that they may be having around AI and just how it's impacting the job market as a whole.
Yeah, because change can be scary, but it doesn't have to be.
Does not have to be scary at all. And speaking of that, we would love to hear your thoughts on AI and how it's impacting our working lives. Are you nervous about it? Or do you think that it's just an overhyped fear? Let us know in the comments down below. We would love to hear from you. Let's kind of talk about some of these common concerns that people have around AI. I see it a lot in the comment section. I feel like specifically around the ATS. That's one thing that I'm constantly seeing is people are kind of like, oh, it's useless to apply to jobs like, this ATS. I'm never going to get a job. What are some concerns that you're hearing around AI?
Some of my personal concerns are with the increase of companies using AI, and this is beyond just, using it to help filter and find qualified candidates. I think at the root of the job search, it is a very human experience. And so the more we're using AI to kind of find a candidate, we kind of lose sight of who the person is and just their ability to be able to grow, right? We're just looking at the black and white of it, which I think has always been a concern. And so concerns I would raise to an employer, I would just say, don't lose sight of that. But for the job seeker, there are so many efficiencies that can be found with using AI in their job search and ways in which they can really kind of lean into the technology to help make the process a lot easier.
I completely agree. I feel like AI can be used as a really great tool in your job search if you're using it in a smart way and in an intuitive way. And so I have a great question that I know job seekers are dying to get your best tips. How can artificial intelligence be used in a job search?
Okay. You might have to stop me because I'm going to go on because it's going to be used and is being used in so many different ways.
I'll be like, time out.
Take a breather, girl.
Yeah.
From Indeed's global AI survey, 87% of HR and talent acquisition leaders and nearly 70% of job seekers stated that they are currently using AI systems and tools, from everything from researching companies on the applicant side to drafting job descriptions on the hiring side. So we admit it, we're both using it. We're using it a lot, right? Honestly, I think using ChatGPT to write a cover letter is the best thing. One of my favorite ways a job seeker has referred to a cover letter is fan fiction for working at your company, which it can really feel like that, right? Using that type of tool to just like kick off the process, so incredibly helpful. I've seen people that are writing scripts to have AI apply to hundreds of jobs for them without them, having to do anything at all, but using their own resume to do it. So many different ways in which it's being used. And of course, you can use it to improve your resume, like with Indeed's instant resume scan, where when you upload it, we're going to use AI to tell you how you can improve it. So if you think about it, Indeed has actually been using AI for approximately 2 decades to improve the hiring experience for job seekers and the experience for employers. And thanks to AI, someone gets a job on Indeed every 3 seconds.
You heard it here first. This career coach likes ChatGPT for cover letters.
I love ChatGPT.
I also think there's just value in having maybe even a template made for you where you can have a cover letter or resume made and then you can go in and kind of correct it. But then also knowing that like companies are using AI to help you in your job search like Indeed. So if you use that free resume scan, it's going to help you beat that ATS and you're going to get past to that next stage.
Okay, Gina, I love a game.
Okay.
So as we're talking about AI in the job search, I want to test your knowledge and see, just as Gina the job seeker, would you be able to spot an AI generated job posting? So I'm not going to be able to show you one, but I want you to tell me, what are some signs or red flags that you could pick up when looking at a posting that might be a signal to you that it was written by AI?
You mentioned one, which is like wonky language, maybe wonky characters in a job posting. AI isn't perfect. And if I read that, I don't think I would be like thrown off as a job seeker. I'd be like, okay, that's fine. Like people make mistakes. Computers make mistakes. Emojis in the job posting. I don't know. Cause sometimes when I use ChatGPT, they are filling that stuff up with emojis. And I'm like, I don't need all these emojis. I don't need you to be that much like a person, I feel like they're
trying to attract Gen Z.
They're trying to be so much like a human that it's like, oh, you're trying too hard. You're doing too much. Those are just some light examples, but I'm ready for you to tell me some like kooky, crazy things because you always have like the list.
So, you're definitely right. I did give you a freebie, generic language or wonky formatting. Those can definitely be signs. Unrealistic expectations. I see these posts all the time where people will say, oh, in like the summary of the job, it says it's entry level. But when I look at the requirements, they're looking for 10 years of experience. It's possible a human didn't write that. It was just written by AI. Repetitive phrasing. It happens. Sometimes ChatGPT or generative AI can sometimes get stuck in a little bit of a loop. So if you see phrases that are being repeated, that could be a sign. Another example would be if in the description, it says that the opportunity is both remote, but you're also required to be on site because it's trying to attract you. It wants to put in words that are going to get you to click on it. And then that's why it sometimes feels like a bait and switch. And then, of course, there's just the overuse of buzzwords, which I think your emoji point could fit into, right? It's trying to pick up on trendy phrases. And maybe if emojis are trending, you might see those there too.
If you're going to use AI, employers, just like job seekers, a human needs to look at it as well.
Give it the once over.
Give it the once over as a human. Okay.
Proofread your job descriptions like job seekers have to proofread their resumes, please.
You heard it here first from our amazing career coach, Jen. Now, I think this is like a huge worry that a lot of job seekers have. You hear it in the news a lot. AI is taking our jobs. How do you feel when people kind of say that there's going to be no jobs available because of AI?
Didn't we already go through that with the Industrial Revolution? Were they not saying the exact same thing? I'm still waiting for AI to make our lives a little bit easier, but the reality is we're probably going to keep working. But hopefully we're going to be working with some efficiencies, right?
I think that there's always, I feel like you said a really, really good point in the beginning of this episode, human touch. There's always going to be a need for a human touch in any process. I think that we have like a lot of different industries. The food industry, we're still going to need a human touch. You know, in tech, you still need a human touch. So I just think that there's a lot of different industries that, yes, like, you know, AI or technology has helped advance those industries a lot. But we as humans, we like when there's a human touch to any service or any, you know, anything that we're consuming or buying, any product. So I'm not too worried. But who knows? Maybe they'll have 2 robots sitting here doing this podcast one day.
They would complain a lot less.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? I watched a lot of robot movies. They rise up.
They might just use like AI generated like versions of us.
Yeah, they'd probably
It'll all just be made in post.
Okay, but
Season 3.
also like if they would have to use our likeness and our likeness complaints.
No, Indeed owns your likeness. They're gonna like tweak it. They're like, give me easygoing Gina.
Easygoing Gina. From your perspective, as a career coach, you've been doing this for a while. How is AI impacting the type of jobs that's available or the specific skills that employers are looking for now?
Well, first, it's important to keep in mind that not that many jobs are actually being heavily impacted or replaced by AI. So I think that's good to set expectations, right? So I recently watched this webinar and it was put on by Harvard Business School Online and it was featuring Maggie Hulse. She's the executive vice president and general manager for job seeker at Indeed. And they really talked about this topic and provided some really great insights. She mentioned Indeed's AI at Work report, which states that only 1 in 5 jobs on Indeed are considered highly exposed to AI, making it unlikely to fully replace many jobs. So I think that can be a little bit comforting, right? When we talk about what does highly exposed mean, it means that generative AI was considered good or excellent at 80% or more of the skills mentioned on the Indeed job posting. So a lot of jobs out there, AI can't fully do on its own. So there's some security in that thought, right? So when we think about the skills that employers are going to continue to look for in people, I mean, you said it, right? It's the human skills. They're going to be looking for skills like leadership, empathy, customer service, you know, the jobs that have to be done in person. Some of these can be manual labor. Some of them can be retail, anything that's happening on site. Those are still going to require a human touch.
And it's comforting to job seekers to know that employers aren't necessarily looking for AI to replace job seekers. So I really think it's like finding ways to use AI to make your job easier, not necessarily replace you.
Yeah, and it's really interesting, you know, when we think about these skills like empathy and leadership and even critical thinking, these are what a lot of people consider to be soft skills or transferable skills. And so we talk about this a lot when we talk about interviewing or navigating career change, just how important it is to really highlight and lean on those. These are skills that are going to be valuable even in the future.
I think we're on the right track. I think AI shouldn't be as daunting to job seekers. What is your advice to job seekers for how they can future-proof their career?
Yeah, I mean, just thinking about that hiring lab report, right? I mean, we know AI is going to touch a lot of jobs, not just in tech. So a way that you can future-proof your career is by upskilling, right? Doesn't mean you have to learn, you know, natural language processing or machine learning or anything like that. But getting comfortable using AI can be really helpful. There are a lot of certifications that you can take, you know, online classes, things that can really show you how to integrate AI into your work. I recently did a AI and content marketing management course, which was fantastic because it really showed me ways in which I could be using AI, not to replace the work that I do, but to make it a lot easier. And that gives you time to focus on other parts of your job.
That's great advice because I really feel like a lot of people are feeling like it's really daunting that AI is a thing. But if you focus on just upskilling, maybe doing some courses, getting some certifications, you really can future-proof that career and stay in the game.
Absolutely.
I think you've shared a lot of great tips, and hopefully Joe, our viewer, is really getting all of his answers from you. But just to wrap it up, how is AI being used in the job search, and how will it be finding jobs in the future?
All right, Joe, I hope you're listening to this because I'm talking to you. But AI is being used by both employers and job seekers, right? So job seekers are using it to research company. They're using it to write bullet points on their resume and even write cover letters. Employers are using it to write job descriptions and help find qualified candidates. For any job seeker who is using ChatGPT or any form of AI to write your application documents, please do not just copy and paste whatever the output is. Just as often as you'll see generic language in an AI-generated job posting, employers will recognize repetitive and generic language in your resume if you're just copy and pasting. So use it as inspiration. Don't use it to do all of the work for you. Do always rewrite it in your own words.
Well, thank you so much for these great tips. I always have so much fun with you. This is one of my favorite episodes.
I love talking about AI.
I know. And I just can't, I'm so distracted by your beautiful earrings. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Job Search Stories. And if you enjoyed this episode, you might just enjoy some other content on our channel. So please make sure to subscribe and leave us a comment down below if you want us to answer any questions. Bye for now.
Bye. Sorry, that was so dumb.
Okay.
I had...
My bun was like boing boing.